Howard had a big game this past Saturday night as he passed for 291 yards with completions to 7 different targets and 2 touchdowns.
I am here at the Varsity Theater for the Cougar for Gals event being hosted by the Red Rock and Blue.
Despite losing trailing Banks within 5 minutes of the second half and Adrian Rogers only scoring 3 of Southern's points for the night, the Jags still managed to put away this game and protect home court advantage while delivering Jackson State their first loss of the SWAC season. University Jaguars dominated the first half, but the Grambling State Tigers would not allow a victory so easily. It was up to the Jaguars' powerhouse defense to pull off this nail-biting victory and making this Bayou Classic truly a classic.
I am here at the Varsity Theater for the Cougar for Gals event being hosted by the Red Rock and Blue.
This benefit was to raise proceeds for Southern's beloved receiver while dancing to live tunes from bands including the Michael Foster Project, Euphoria the Band, and the Neighborhood Stars. Devon was nearly paralyzed in Southern's game against UGA after a head-on collision with Georgia kicker Morgan Marshall on a kickoff return play. After the tragic accident, the state of Georgia welcomed the Gales family as one of its own, and according to Donnie Gales, the community has been supportive of the family in their time of need.
Atlanta. I can't say enough about Atlanta. Atlanta has been so good to us, from Athens to Georgia to the mayors to the hospitals to everybody to the head coach, Coach Rick, Reggie, his brother, Ron, the staff at Atlanta, Georgia football team has been so supportive of us, and we just can't thank them enough for what they have done for us. Because of them, we don't know where we would have been up in Atlanta, but they have been every step of the way with us in Atlanta.
Since his injury, Gales has received an outpour of love and support from across the nation, and his community is certainly doing its share as Devon's alma mater Central High raised $20,000 to assist the Gales family with medical expenses.
Mr. Junior Shelton and Miss Debbie, they put on a fundraiser for him, and they supported and they donated over $20,000. So this high school has reached back to him, and so when he come back, we'll probably have a function at the high school for him.
Devon now has movement in his legs and toes and will remain in Georgia as he progresses to recovery. I am Briana Brownlee with the Blitz Report.
They'll take him to the doctor tomorrow. He know the rehab. We'll try to get him back soon because we're going to play a lot of teams that we need to have, his creativity out there on the floor.
Despite losing trailing Banks within 5 minutes of the second half and Adrian Rogers only scoring 3 of Southern's points for the night, the Jags still managed to put away this game and protect home court advantage while delivering Jackson State their first loss of the SWAC season. Southern, looking for payback from that defeat at home against Jackson last season, trailed for most of the first half. That was until Chris Thompson comes up with a rebound and passes it to Traylon Banks for a 3-pointer, shrinking Jackson State's lead to only 2 points. Few plays later, Christopher Hyder snatches the rebound, takes it down the court, glides through the Jackson State's defense for a layup to tie the game at the half. Hyder finished with 18 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals.
He has great vision.
Top of the second half, Rashad Andrews, steaming, picks up a steal and fires in a 3-pointer to give Southern a 3-point lead. Sean Prudhomme had quite a night of his own, coming off the bench with much intensity. However, Jackson refused to go down so easily. Southern had a 14-point lead in the second half, but with time winding down, Chase Franklin bags in a 3-pointer, bringing Jackson within 6. But Prudhomme finished with a dunk to seal the Jaguar victory. Prudhomme finished with 14 points and 4 rebounds. Jags went on to win 74-66, handing Jackson State their first loss of the SWAC season.
So we just had kind of a chip on our shoulders to just really come back and bounce back really strong after our first 2 losses in conference play.
Coming in here, they're a good team and they're physical, so it wasn't that they just beat us. They dominated the game all around last year. So we didn't want to let that happen again this year. So we was locked in, but we got to be locked in like that every game, not just this game, moving forward and just help ourselves win.
It was not a very happy homecoming for the Jaguar Nation, witnessing the Prairie View Panthers outscoring the Jags 47-42 in a Western Divisional shootout.
It's a tough loss. It's, we got to learn from it.
Went into the game too big-headed. We just needed a loss to get our mind right and everything. But we're gonna come in Sunday, take care of our mistakes, and be ready for next week.
Despite Austin Howard passing for well over 300 yards and continuing to find his way to the end zone, scoring 4 of Southern's touchdowns, the Jags were still prone to fumbles, drop passes, and turnovers, allowing Prairie View to steal a road victory.
At the end of the day, we had a chance to win the game. We had a chance to make stops to win the game. We had a chance to score and win the game. So at the end of the day, they just wanted it more. We did leave stuff on the field, but you don't want to take credit from the other team. Everything comes down to will and want to at the end of the day in a close game like that. They made the plays, we didn't.
Baton Rouge native and Panthers running back Jonte Abear returned home for a homecoming of his own. Showing no mercy to Southern's defense, Abear racked in over 100 yards in rushing and receptions.
He's a shifty back, and they use him for receiver, for running back, for anything, So, he's their go-to guy, and he gave us trouble. Really just came back to not tackling. Running up there, stopping our feet, and not tackling. And he made some cuts. He made some good plays. And hey,
He's a good back, man. Like he was good. He's a good back, And like in a game that close, we gotta make those tackles. We can't let him break out of those tackles. We can't let him get to the edge. He outwitted us. He out finessed us, and he got to the corner. And plays like that, you can only choke it up to Hart. His heart, he wanted it more.
The Jags will drop to 3-1 in SWAC, while the Grambling State Tigers will remain at the top of the Western Division at 5-0. And now with the Prairie View Panthers improving to the number 2 spot at 4-1, Southern is now in a must-win situation, and the road back to Houston will not be easy. The Jags must defeat upcoming opponents, including Eastern top runners and reigning SWAC champions Alcorn State, to maintain control of their own postseason destiny. From A.W. Mumford, I am Briana Brownlee.